Hello students, welcome to VFocus classes. I hope you are doing good and also your preparation is good. After a long time we are posting a video, and in this video we will discuss some of the model questions which can be expected in IBPS PO mains exam. So these are the questions based basically from quant section, and you know that in the mains exam most of the times you'll be asked questions based on the data. It means you're given a certain data and followed by that, based on the data you'll be asked some questions. In order to answer those questions, we need to understand the data carefully and we need to analyze the data carefully. Then whatever the inputs are given from the data, based on those inputs, we need to answer these questions. Okay, let's see some of the questions. So here is the question. Basically here the data is given, and based on the data some of the questions are given. So first, as I said, first you need to read the data, then you understand the data, and then you analyze the data and answer the question. All these things are to be done within 3 to 4 minutes. Means reading the data, understanding the data, analyzing the data, and also solving the questions. It has to be done in 3 to 4 minutes. So how can we do it in 3 to 4 minutes? It means we have to be very focused on the question. While reading the question, we should be able to understand what is the concept of the question. Once you understand the concept of the question, then immediately you can answer the questions whatever is given in this section. Okay, first we try to read the question. Here the question is given like this. There are three persons A, B and C who each invested in two different schemes, S1 and S2. So basically the question is about investment. Is saying A invested rupees 80,000 in 2 years in scheme S1. So it means there is a scheme S1 and there are three persons. There is a scheme S1 and 30,000 for 4 years in scheme S2. Means by reading these two sentences we understood that there are three persons, there are two schemes. So each person, it seems that each person is investing some amount in each scheme. Okay, B invested 30,000 for 3 years in scheme 1 and he did not invest in scheme S2. Okay, B also obtained a profit of 10,000 by selling his car. So B did not invest in scheme S2, but he got a profit of 10,000 by selling his car. He sold his car. It seems that he had a car, he sold and he made a profit of 10,000. C invested rupees 50,000 for 5 years in scheme S1 and 10,000 for 3 years in scheme S2. The total profit obtained from scheme S1 is 2 lakh rupees and scheme S2 is 90,000 rupees. The question and the data is very clear that it is about investment. So people have invested something in some scheme for some years, and also in the last line we are given with profit. So by looking at this, we should be able to remember there is a relation between investment, time period, means there are time is given and we got the profit also. Means we should be able to relate what is the relation between investment and time period and profit. So there is a relation. So if you write investment and time period ratios, you'll get profit ratio. That should come into your mind basically, like investment into time period. Let us say the first person is there and second person is there. Their investment ratios, if you write, that will give us profit ratio. This should come into your mind. Okay. So this is basically the data. So while reading the data itself, we should understand something. Then we need to analyze the data. So I'll try to analyze the data. I'll try to find out something from this data. So before finding the data, I wanted to show you some questions so that you will understand how the question will be in the exam. Okay. Now we'll try to solve this data, whatever is given. So data is very simple. Once you understand the concept of investment and time period and profit. So what is given? Profit is given. You are given investment. You are given time period also. So these things, once it should flash that investment into time, the ratio of investment into time will give us profit ratio. Once it flashes in your mind, you will come to know what is the profit of A, what is the profit of B, what is the profit of C, what can be expected in the exam. These things will come into your mind. Okay, let's see how we solve this problem. So basically there are three persons A, B and C They invested in scheme S1 and S2. So what is that we need to do in the exam? See, you know that you are writing a computer based exam, you will be given a paper. While reading the data, once you understand the data, you need to bifurcate, you need to write out the data on the piece of paper, which is very easy to solve, which you can understand later on while solving the questions. I'll follow this method. There are three persons, A, B, C, and he's saying that there are two schemes. There is a scheme S1 and there is a scheme S2. I'll write like this so that it will be easy for me to understand the question. And he's saying about the amount and he's saying about the time period. And while reading the data, I understood that there are only 10,000s, 10,000s, 10,000. So I'll ignore about 10,000s. I'll take simple number. It is 80,000. I'll take his investment. A investment in scheme S1 is 80,000 for 2 years. It is given A invested rupees 80,000 for 2 years in scheme S1. So instead of taking 80,000, I'll take only 8. And for how many years? It invested for 2 years. I'll write like this it is investment for 2 years. And I'll in the same way I'll go for B. I'll read the next sentence. It is 30,000 for 4 years in scheme S2. 30,000 means 3 for how many years? 4 years in scheme S2. So this is the data given about A. And data about B. B invested 30,000 rupees for 3 years in scheme S1. It is clearly S1. So I'll take 3 for 3 years. And he did not invest anything in scheme S2, means I'll take it as 0. And B also obtained 10,000 profit. It is separate thing. 10,000 profit he got by selling his car. C invested rupees 50,000 for 5 years. It means 5 years scheme S1, and 10,000 for 3 years in scheme S2. It means 10,000 for 3 years in scheme S2. Basically here I took 80,000 means I took 8. So here 10,000 means I'll take only 1. So if I take this ratio directly, it will give me profit ratio. What is the profit ratio? I can say here it is 16 and here it is 9, here it is 25. This is the profit ratio I can say. Why am I taking profit ratio? Because here clearly given about profit. What is the profit given? 2 lakhs in scheme S1. Last sentence we know that there is a 2 lakh profit from scheme S1. And from the scheme S2 there is a 90,000 profit. So what is the ratio I would like to see here? Here it is 12 and here it is 3. So there is no ratio for B. And what is the profit? By looking at this, here it is 90,000. By solving this, I can say that we know the ratio now 16, 9, 25, and the total profit we know that 2 lakhs. Here the ratio we got is profit ratio. You know that investment into time will give us a profit ratio. So here how much is the ratio? So you got 16, 9 and 25, and you need to find out each individual profit, A profit, B profit and C profit. Here I am taking time to solve the questions. If I solve this question in the exam, I'll take 1 minute to do all these things, but I took almost 4 to 5 minutes now. Entire thing depends on the speed. To understand, to make it understand, I am taking much time, but in the exam we'll do it very fast. So 16, 9, 25 means I'll see that there are how many parts. This is 16 parts, this is 9 parts, this is 25, means there are 50 parts. And what is that we are getting? 2 lakhs profit we are getting, means each part will give us 4,000 rupees. So in the same way, if 16 parts means it is 16 into 4,000, we'll know that this is 64,000 profit for A. And if I multiply this 9 with 4, we'll be getting 36,000. And if we multiply this with 4, we'll be getting 1 lakh profit for C. This is a very simple calculation. Here it is given 12, here it is given 3, means we got it as 12 and we got it as 3, means 15 parts, the total profit is 90,000. So if I share, this is 15 parts 90,000, means each part will be 6,000 rupees. So that if I multiply 12 with 6,000, it will be 72,000, and it will be 3 means it will be 18,000. So you need to write all this data whatever is given on the piece of paper, so that it will be easy for us to solve the problem in the coming while reading the problem, because you are writing a computer based exam. You need to read the problem from the computer and you need to solve the question based on the paper. You can't go back, you can't you are not writing on the computer. I am writing on the screen, but you can't you are not doing that thing. So you record the data properly on your piece of paper so that you can solve the questions very easily. So this is the data given. From the data given, we could easily find out what is the profit ratio. It may seem very easy while solving the data. Sometimes data will be very easy, but solving the problem will be tough. Sometimes the data will be tough once you solve the data. Sometimes solving the problems will be easy. The entire thing will be depending on the data and our speed. Now we will see the next question. So we have solved the data and we got profits of each and every in each and every scheme for each and every individual. Now we'll try to solve one of the question given. The question is like this: what is the ratio of total profit obtained by B and profit obtained by C from scheme S1? Here the ratio is asked for total profit obtained by B. Total profit obtained by B means whatever the profit B has done, means from the scheme S1 or from the scheme S2, or if you remember he sold a car for which he got 10,000 rupees. So by put together all these things, how much is the profit he got? So if you revise the video, if you have noted down the things, B made a profit of 36,000 from scheme S1. He did not invest anything in scheme S2, and he got 10,000 from selling a car. Means B made a profit of 46,000 rupees. Whereas C from scheme S1, what is the initial what is the profit C got from scheme S1? If you look at the problem, he got 1 lakh rupees in the previous just 1 minute before we have solved this thing. So just cancel these 3 zeros. You got if you cancel with 2, 223s are 46 and 250s are 100. So you will be getting the ratio as 23:50. So once you do this, once you understand the data and solve the profit ratios, then it is easy. Now we'll see the next question. Now try to read the next question. It is given like profit obtained by A from scheme S1. You know that what is a profit obtained by A from the scheme S1? If you go to the previous 2 to 3 minutes before, the profit obtained is 64,000 rupees, and the profit obtained by A from scheme S1 is what percent of profit obtained by C from scheme S2. C has made some profit from S2, it is 18,000 rupees. Now is asking that the 64,000 is what percent of 18,000, means you are asked to compare 64,000 with 18,000. So it means like 64,000 divided by 18,000 into 100. This is what we need to do. 3 zeros are cancelled, and if you simplify this, you will be getting like 2 9s are and 2 32s are. So it is like 32 into 100. This is 3200 divided by 9. So denominator is 9. So you can solve this thing, or you just directly go to the data, look at the options. Sometimes we'll solve the problem by looking at the options also, if you are very good at the calculation. So all the denominators are 9 only. Numerator is 00. Let's see, we'll try to solve this question. This is 9 3s are 27 and 5 0, 9 5s are 45, and again 5 will be left. 5 0, 9 5s are 45, 355 something. So 355 something, if it is given, yes, this is the answer. So only thing is you need to understand the profits, you need to find out the profits and solve the problem, so that you will get the answer easily. Now look at the next question, what is asked based on the data. Here, if sum of investment of A in both schemes and total profit obtained by A from both schemes is invested at compound interest at the rate of 20% per annum, then find the total compound interest in 2 years. Means sum of investment of A in both the schemes, whatever he has invested, what he has invested? 80,000 rupees in scheme S1 he has invested, 30,000 rupees in scheme S2 has invested, means he has invested 1,10,000 rupees in schemes. And total profit obtained by A from both the schemes. What is the total profit obtained? In the scheme S1 he got 64,000 rupees profit. In the scheme S2 he got 72,000 rupees profit. Okay. So what is the total profit he got? 3 zeros, and this is 6 and 13, 14, and this is 2,46,000 rupees is the total profit. Now he is asking us to find if the same thing, this entire amount, had he invested at a compound interest rate of 20% per annum, then find the total compound interest obtained in 2 years. He is asking about the compound interest. You know that what is a compound interest? For the first year it will be 20% only, and next year also it will be 20% only, but again 20% of the first year investment we will be charging, like 20% of 2 means 4%. So total compound interest will be 44%. Means we need to solve. If you want to understand this compound interest concept, you just go to the playlist and you see compound interest video I have uploaded, so that you will understand this very well. So now what is that we need to find out? What is the total, what is 44% of 2,46,000 is the thing we need to find out. So 44% of 2,46,000 you'll find out, you'll find the answer. You find the answer and comment in the comment section. So this is one more question based on the same data. We'll just read the data. If A had invested his sum at simple interest for 3 years at a rate of R% per annum instead of scheme S1, and B has invested his sum at compound interest rate at R plus 5% per annum for 1 year, and difference in interest obtained is 30,000, find the value of R. If A had invested his sum at simple interest for 3 years at the rate of R% per annum, okay, so instead of scheme S1 means, so whatever A has invested in scheme S1, so that is 80,000 rupees. He is saying that 80,000 rupees instead of investing in scheme S1, had he invested at a rate of R% per annum, okay, for how many years? 3 years. So you would have got some returns, okay. So this is whatever he is getting for 3 years. So this is the interest we will be getting. And B has invested his sum at a compound interest. So B has invested some amount in compound interest for 1 year. So B has invested in only one scheme, that is 30,000 rupees. So he is telling that 30,000 rupees had he invested in compound interest rate at a rate of R plus 5%. So it is R plus 5% for how many years? This is only for 1 year. And difference of interest obtained is 30,000. Means you find out this thing, you solve this thing, okay, and you solve this thing, you find out the difference between these two, okay. So difference means minus. So difference of this interest and this interest will give you how much? That is 30,000 rupees. So difference is given as 30,000. Okay, what I do is everything is multiplication, so I'll remove all 4 zeros from here, here, and also from here. Okay, here denominator is 100, here denominator is 100. So what I take is this is 8R, 24R minus this is 3R minus into 3R minus 3R. This is minus into 3 into 5, this is minus 15. Okay, so and here denominator 100 goes this side, this will become 300. You solve this thing and find out R and let me know the answer what you got from the comment section. So this is how we solve the questions. How we are solving the questions very fast? Just because we understood the data and we solved the data. People may ask whether these kind of easy questions are given in the exam. Yes, this is not an easy question. As you know the concept of, once as you understand the concept, it seems very easy, but while reading the question in the exam, sometimes you may not struck what is the logic we need to use for these questions to solve. So practice well, read the problem very well, understand the problem, practice well, so that you can do the calculations easy and you can answer the questions easy. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe the vFocus classes.